like, subscribe, and leave a comment. So here's your review of AEW Collision, the week of the 29th of January. Yes, I'm in a different location, but we're going with it for now. So it starts off with Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli versus Lee Moriarty and Shane Taylor in a great match. Go and watch it if you haven't seen it. Lee Moriarty and Jon Moxley had a really close match on Rampage, but obviously Lee Moriarty lost. And they lost again here. So Moxley and Claudio won the match. Then we have Roderick Strong basically making a deal with Commander, as he's going to face Orange Cassidy for the International Championship, and says if you win, he still wants his title shot. And I think they shook hands on it as well. So that goes straight into Commander versus Orange Cassidy for the International Championship. Really good match. Go and watch it. Obviously, Orange Cassidy is one of the most consistent wrestlers in all of wrestling and one of the people who's got the most wins in AEW, if he's not got the most wins. Great match. Orange Cassidy gets the victory. Then we have someone in the back mysteriously attacks Danny Garcia. So we're not sure if he will make the main event in the cage match later, but we will have a look. Then we have Mariah May versus Lady Frost in a really good match. Go and watch it if you haven't seen it. But in the end, Mariah May gets the victory. She's sort of like a Kip Sabian, I'm afraid. Like, I don't remember the last time she's won a match. Same with Lee Moriarty. I don't remember the last time they've won a match. But anyway, so then we go to Swerve whose house? Yeah, I can hear you saying Swerve's house. So Swerve Strickland's basically saying on Dynamite, Hangman Adam Page is going to face Tower. I think his name is Tower. And he's never been pinned, never lost in AEW. Well, never been pinned, apparently. So he's going to face Hangman on Dynamite, so that's going to be interesting. Then Hangman said he's going to pick Swerve Strickland's opponent, but he's not going to tell him. I know, exact spoiler alert, I know who it's going to be. It's going to be Keith Lee. Sorry. And I've told you, I bet it's Keith Lee. But anyway, so then we have Willie Mack versus Eddie Kingston. If Willie Mack wins, he gets a title shot at Eddie Kingston's Continental title. In the end, Eddie Kingston gets the victory in a great match. Then we have Bryan Danielson versus Nagata. I think that's how you pronounce his name, in a really technical match. Nagata is a legend in the Japanese wrestling scene, strong style, all of that stuff. But in the end, Bryan Danielson gets the victory. And after the victory, he walks straight past Eddie Kingston. Sorry, before the match, in fact, he came down to the ring, going back a little bit. He walked straight past Eddie Kingston and ignored him. So that beef is still going on. Then we have FTR in the back saying they're not sure if Danny Garcia is going to make the cage match after being jumped, but Mark Briscoe said he will stand in if needs be. Then we have Brian Cage calling out Hook, saying he's the original FTW champion and he wants his shot. And Hook says, let's go with it. And then we have Serena Deeb versus some lady. In the end, Serena Deeb gets the victory and said she wants to be AWO champion. Then in the main event, it's the cage match. It's FTR and supposedly Danny Garcia versus the House of Black. But what happens is, as Mark Briscoe was coming out, he got taken out by the House of Black and they put him through a table. Later on in the match, Danny Garcia turned up. There was tables. There was a bit of blood. I think there was some chairs. But in the end, Danny Garcia and FTR got the victory. So that's your review of AEW Collision. Like, subscribe, and leave a comment.